Good morning, friends. It's just Miss Schultz today. Tadpole is at home, and I had to stop by my mom's house today after I went to the dentist, which is why our story is just a little bit later than normal. It is Thursday. It is June 11th, 2020, and there is just today and then tomorrow, and then I'll be done making stories for you, and I will make sure that Tadpole is in our story tomorrow morning. It is a beautiful day outside. If you have not been outside yet, make sure you get outside a little bit so that you can see and enjoy the sunshine and nice breezy weather we have today. We are going to finish our Mercy Watson Fights Crime story, and then we will, if I do that, I get brighter. There's a glare from the window behind me. And then we have a special book tomorrow about the last day of school. So we are on chapter 12. I'm going to turn it a little bit so you can see the computer a little bit more and a little less of me. Chapter 12. In reality, Leroy Ninker was a small thief on the back of a big pig. But in Leroy's mind, he was a cowboy riding a bucking bronco in the Wild West. Being a cowboy is hard work, said Leroy Ninker. I need some refreshment. Leroy reached into his shirt pocket and he grabbed hold of a butter barrel candy. He unwrapped it with one hand and he put it in his mouth. My grandparents ate butter barrel candies. Ah, said Leroy Ninker, this is the life. But just then, the pig kicked up her heels. The pig bucked, and the pig reared. Leroy Ninker lost his grip. Yippee, said Leroy. He flew through the air. Aye, said Leroy. He landed on his back. Oh, said Leroy Ninker. Chapter 13. Mercy sniffed. There was that delightful smell again. Butter. But where was it coming from? She looked around. She saw the little man lying on the ground. She sniffed his face. Hee, said the man. That tickles. Mercy snuffled the man's shirt. He said again. In order to snuffle the man better, Mercy sat on top of him. Get off me, the man said. Mercy put her snout in the man's shirt pocket. She snuffled some more. Oh, said the man. Help! I don't think I'd want a pig sitting on top of me. Mercy found a piece of candy. She bit into it. It was sweet. It was lovely. It was very, very buttery. Mercy sat on top of the little man and chewed. A siren wailed. Aw, shucks, said the man. Chapter 14. The fire department arrived first. We've been to this house before, said the fireman named Ned. You are right, said the fireman named Lorenzo. This is the house with the pig. And the toast, said Ned. We ate toast at this house. I see the pig, said Lorenzo. He pointed at Mercy. The pig is sitting on somebody. Good grief, said Ned. Ned and Lorenzo got out of the fire truck. They saw Mr. and Mrs. Watson running out the front door of their house. They saw Eugenia and Lincoln and baby Lincoln running out of the front door of their house. This is an interesting job, isn't it? Said Ned. Very interesting, said Lorenzo. Chapter 15. Officer Tamilio pulled into the driveway of 54 Deckerwood Drive. In the yard, he saw 2 firemen, 3 women in nightgowns, and 1 man in pajamas. They were all gathered around a pig. Is that the same pig I caught driving the convertible? He asked himself. He looks perplexed. Befuddled. That's another good word to describe how he looks. It is, he answered himself. It is exactly the same pig. Officer Tamilio squinted. Is that pig sitting on top of somebody? Officer Tamilio asked himself. That certainly looks to be the case, he answered himself. Officer, officer, shouted Baby. Come quickly. Mercy has caught a thief. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson and Eugenia Lincoln and baby Lincoln and Ned and Lorenzo and Officer Tamilio all looked down at Mercy. Are you a thief? Officer Tamilio asked the man underneath the pig. I am, said Leroy Ninker. I am a thief. Were you robbing these people? Officer Tamilio asked. I was, said Leroy Ninker, until the pig got involved. Gentlemen, said Officer Tamilio, will you assist me in removing the pig? On the count of 3, Ned and Lorenzo and Officer Tamilio lifted Mercy off of Leroy Ninker. You are under arrest, said Officer Tamilio. It's that pig you should be arresting, said Eugenia Lincoln. She does not like Mercy. Leroy Ninker stood with his cowboy hat in his hand. He looked down at his feet. "Oh, officer," said Mrs. Watson, "the thief is so tiny. Shouldn't he have something to eat before you arrest him?" "Maybe he needs some toast," said Ned. "With a great deal of butter on it," added Lorenzo. "Toast?" said Officer Tamilio. "Who needs toast?" "Why, everyone needs toast," said Mrs. Watson. "Even cowboys," said Leroy Ninker. Mercy perked up her ears. Toast? Butter? At last! She headed for the Watsons' kitchen, and everyone followed her. Chapter 16. The next morning, the front page of the newspaper read, "Pet pig captures thief, sits on him until help arrives." "She is a poor kind wonder," said the pig's owner, Mrs. Watson. "She is a very, very brave dear," said Mr. Watson, husband of Mrs. Watson and proud co-owner of the pig. "She is a sly pig," said the Watsons' neighbor, Eugenia Lincoln, "and things with her are never as they seem." Baby Lincoln, sister to Eugenia Lincoln, remarked that the most interesting things seem to happen when one has pie right before bed. "The pig did capture the thief," said Police Officer Bert Tamilio. "How it happened I am not certain, but did it happen? It did." Fireman Ned Fortune and Lorenzo Wiz were also at the scene. They both agreed that the pig had some amazing abilities. They also pointed out that Mrs. Watson made excellent toast. The thief, Leroy Ninker, is interested in reforming himself. He would like to become a cowboy. The pig had nothing to say, but she seemed very pleased with herself. The end. I actually had toast this morning after I went to the dentist for breakfast. I hope you all have a wonderful day and get to enjoy the sunshine. I will see you tomorrow for one last story of the school year. I love you all and air hugs to everybody.